3 more races to go until we select the 16 drivers contending for the Bill France Cup in 2025. However, today is one of the most entertaining but also unpredictable races of the schedule. 7 turns of high-speed swooping corners, but also have that short track flair on the twists and turns of upstate New York. Race 24 of the NASCAR season in 2025 will take place here at Watkins Glen International for the Go Bowling at the Glen. And today's episode of MDK Race Day is sponsored by GridRival. You're looking high above here at the Watkins Glen International. It's a super speedway type feel with the high speeds, but it's got that short track feeling of bean banging all rolled into one road course. And the temperature here is going to be hot and dry. Temperature in the low 90s, 1% chance of rain, so we will have clear skies, no issue with rain whatsoever. A slight wind and south through the racetrack at 6 miles an hour. Wind gusts can get up to as high as 15 miles an hour. Welcome everyone back to episode of MDK Race Day. My name is Jet. Hope you're having a wonderful day. That's right, we're jumping back on board with MDK Race Day and GridRival coming back on board, so it's awesome to restart that partnership with them. But we're going to start off the story, or should say start the show with very somber. We're going to start it off on a low point. Obviously, the big story heading into today is, of course, what took place last night. Connor Zilisch, when he won the NASCAR Xfinity Series race for his 6th win of the season and his 2nd straight at Watkins Glen International. A fantastic win for him. Unfortunately, in victory lane, when he got out of the car, he slipped off the car, fell and hit his head, knocked him out unconscious. He was helped onto a backboard into an ambulance and taken to a local hospital. And luckily, we got a tweet from him that he is okay. His CT scans came out clear. The only thing is that he does have a broken collarbone. I'm not going to show the video just because it is pretty disturbing to see. But he is okay, but he does have a broken collarbone, and as a result, Trackhouse Racing announced later that night that they have withdrawn the number 87 from competing here in this race here today. So technically, Connor Zilisch, who did qualify for the race, qualified around mid-pack, I believe, will be credited with, I believe, a DNS or at the very least a 40th place finish. So it's very unfortunate that this happened to him, considering the fact that he also had a back injury earlier in the season after his wreck at Talladega. But hopefully he's able to recover as soon as possible and get back to 100%. Yeah, we're going to now transition onto a much lighter subject and talk about the NASCAR Top 10 with 3 races to go in the regular season. The top 5 is very, very intense. William Byron, with his win last Sunday at Iowa, retakes the points lead over his teammate Chase Elliott, now 18 points between the 24 and the 9. That's really the only changes. 3rd, 4th, and 5th is still Larson, Hamlin, and Bell. However, Hamlin is the only driver that's within that 61-point range, so any one of the top 4 can leave Watkins Glen here today with the points lead. 5th is Christopher Bell, minus 86. Reddick, Blaney, Briscoe, and Bowman remain the same. Bubba Wallace, though, with his 6th place finish, gets back into the NASCAR Top 10 over Chris Buescher, gains 1 position, now sitting at minus 189. Not much change in the NASCAR Top 10, same thing with the playoff grid. Everything remains the same, really. Reddick is still first one out, or should say first one that's in without a win at plus 122. Bowman stays at plus 63. Buescher does open up the gap just a little bit, plus 23 over his teammate Ryan Preece. Kyle Busch in 18th, minus 73. Gibbs, minus 87. And AJ Allmendinger Cine at minus 118. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR, proud sponsor of the Busch Light Polo Award, given to the fastest driver at each NASCAR Cup Series event. Busch Light congratulates Ryan Blaney, an upset here at Watkins Glen, taking the pole away from Shane Van Gisbergen for his 12th career Cup Series pole in his 366th career start. It's his first pole at Watkins Glen, his first on a road course, and his first pole since Atlanta back in February for his 2nd pole of 2025. He wins pole with a speed of 122.568 miles per hour. Since 2020, Busch Beer has invested more than $50 million in being a premier sponsor of the NASCAR Cup Series. So here's a look at the starting lineup for the 2025 Go Bowling at the Glen. Like I said, Ryan Blaney in an upset steals a pole away from Shane Van Gisbergen, the favorite here to win here today. Row 2, Chase Briscoe, really good on the road courses here. Once again, qualifies up front, starting alongside Ross Chastain, another driver has a very good record here at the Glen. Row 3 has Kyle Busch, a 2-time Watkins Glen winner, alongside Michael McDowell, the 2023 Indianapolis road course winner. Row 4 has Alex Bowman, the Ally 48 car, alongside Carson Hocevar, who finished 3rd here last year, with Christopher Bell and the 2023 Watkins Glen winner William Byron rounding out the top 10. Joe Logano, the 2015 Watkins Glen race winner, alongside the defending race winner and Chris Buescher in the 17 car. Row 7 has Austin Cindric in the number 2 Ford, repping new colors with Snap-on on board, and Ty Gibbs in the 54 Monster Energy Toyota. Row 8 has Bubba Wallace in the number 23 car, also sporting some new pink colors with the McDonald Land Toyota, alongside Brad Keselowski in the 6 car. Row 9 has his teammate Ryan Preece in the 60 car, alongside AJ Allmendinger, the 2014 Watkins Glen winner, with the top 20 rounding out Daniel Suarez in the 99, and Chase Elliott, who won his very first Cup Series race here back in 2018, starting in the 20th position. Row 11 has Tyler Reddick in the number 45 Toyota, alongside his boss Denny Hamlin in the Progressive Toyota. Row 12 has Justin Haley, very fast here in practice yesterday, starting alongside Josh Berry in the 21 ride. Lucky row number 13 has Austin Dillon in the 3 car, and the 2022 Watkins Glen winner Kyle Larson alongside. Row 14 has Todd Gillen in the number 34 car, alongside rookie Riley Herbst, with Legacy Motor Club teammates Eric Jones and John Nemechek rounding out the top 30. Row 16 has Cole Custer alongside Ty Dillon. Row 17 has Zane Smith and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Noah Gregson and Cody Ware make up row 18. Catherine Legg back in the 78 ride alongside J.J. Yaley, with Josh Bilicki rounding out the now 39 car lineup. Now, technically, Connor Zilic did qualify in this race. He qualified, I believe, in the 20th position. However, as we mentioned before, the number 87 car and Trackhouse have elected to withdraw the car from the field due to Connor Zilic's fall last night. So technically, Zilic is in the field, but will be counted with a DNS and will finish in dead last. Alright, now it's time for GridRival, better or worse. If you download the GridRival app, use code JET. GridRival will match up to $100 on your first deposit. So if you put in $100, GridRival will give you an extra $100 just for free. So make sure you sign up on GridRival. Download the app right now. It's available on iOS and Android, and use code JET to take advantage of this offer. I'm on it. I'm active on it. So hopefully you guys use this code, because it really does help a lot with the channel out. So huge thank you to GridRival for once again partnering with me, or should say restarting their partnership with me, and for allowing me to have them be a sponsor for this episode. So we're going to go off with better or worse. Again, a feature on their app. Simple as this. They give you a list of drivers, give race position. Do you think that driver would do better or worse? So let's first start off with Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, the pole sitter for this race, he is sitting at a 6.0. I know he's on pole, but I'm not confident what I'm seeing out of that 12 car. Yes, I know he did win pole, but I didn't see the type of speed in the practice session. And on top of that, when considering his history at Watkins Glen, he doesn't have a single top 10 in the next gen era. Only has one top 5 finish, and that was back in 2019. Him doing better than 6th place, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he will do worse. Next up we got is Chris Buescher, the defending race winner here at Watkins Glen. He is positioned at a 7.5. Chris Buescher is one of the best here at Watkins Glen. He's always had a really good record, been really good on the road courses, and I think giving him a 7.5, that is a steal in my opinion. I think Chris Buescher is more than capable of performing better than 7th place. I think he has a top 5 car in this race, so I got Chris Buescher better than 7.5. Next up we got is Kyle Busch. Now, Kyle Busch, yes, he is a 2-time winner at Watkins Glen, but that was way long ago. Since his time at RCR, especially in 2025, it has been nothing but good. Anytime Kyle Busch has something good going on, something happens to him. Now, he is positioned at a 10.5. GridRival has him, but he has 0 top 10s in the last 3 Watkins Glen races, all again in the next gen era. I think with Kyle Busch, granted he is starting, I believe he's starting in a 5th or 6th position here today. Great qualifying run, but it is Kyle Busch. I'm banking on that bad luck will continue on. I think he will do worse than 10th, so I got Kyle Busch doing worse. Next up we got is his replacement sort of, and that is Ty Gibbs in the 54 ride. GridRival has him in 8th place, but he does have a best finish of 5th back in 2023. However, 2024 and 2022, he did not do so well. So it was a kind of bit topsy-turvy with Ty Gibbs here at Watkins Glen. But again, this year on the road courses, he has been exceptionally well, always in the top 5 in position, leading laps. He's always up there in the mix. I got him doing better than 8th. And finally, Shane Van Gisbergen. They have him at a 1.5. So basically, either first or not. That's how it is. That's how GridRival has him, which tells you how good he has been. He has won the last 3 road course races, only won all but one, and that was at Austin and Coda back in March. he has been just the guy, the dominant guy to beat here at road courses in the NASCAR Cup Series. But this is a but. I look back on last year. Now, granted, last year was with a different team, not as much experience. He only led one lap last year. He did lose it to Chris Buescher right before the carousel when he slipped up, and Buescher took advantage. Will be much stronger here today. I do feel like Shane Van Gisbergen will be a threat, will be the guy to beat to win this race, but I just feel like something's going to happen. I got SVG doing worse. Basically, I don't think he's going to win because that's how it's done. I mean, they're basically saying, do you think he's going to win or not? I think he'll do worse. I think he'll maybe do second or third, but winning, I don't know. He could, but I just don't think he's going to do it. And now it's time to make the call. You know how it goes. Every week I make a post on my YouTube discussion page giving me your thoughts on what do you think is going to happen. Anything is going to happen for this weekend's race. Now, we're going to go off 3 because 90 to 95% I couldn't use because they all had the same theme. A, SVG will be the one to beat, and B, Connor Zilisch will finish in the top 10. 90% of them had that, and obviously, with Zilisch not participating in this race, I kind of had to shut down a lot of them. And a lot of the other comments had SVG repeating that they think that he's either going to be the guy to beat or the guy to win. So we got 3 we're going to list off here. The first one comes from CarGuy67, who says Michael McDowell's car won't explode and he will win in dominating fashion. Now, this is a callback to what happened in Chicago when Michael McDowell, in my opinion, had the car to beat until his throttle line broke, I believe around stage 2 or near the end of stage 2. And he had to finish the race behind the wall, but he had the car to beat. He led the most laps, I believe, at that time. Certainly, I felt like could have beaten SVG had that throttle line not break or not rip apart. So as long as Michael McDowell's car stays intact, he's starting inside the top 10. I definitely agree with that statement of Michael McDowell being the one, being a car to watch out for. Next up, Vincent the Helm 6362. He says, I'm honestly pulling for the ringers in this race. AJ or McDowell, it's make or break time. I'm here for this action. Yes, AJ Allmendinger. I will say AJ Allmendinger has been, I feel like, in my opinion, underperforming. I mean, only one top 10 finish on any of the 4 road courses we had previously gone to this season, and that was a 6th at Chicago. Mexico, he finished 13th, Sonoma 18th, and I believe Dakota finished outside the top 20, so he has underperformed a little bit to what I expected. However, Watkins Glen is a track that AJ, in my opinion, is the most familiar with, has the best success at. He is a former race winner there, so if there was any track for him to perform well, it'd be this one, and he is within striking distance. He's 118 points below the cut line. This is a great opportunity for him to get a lot of stage points, get some points to get back up in the cut line mix, and maybe even a win. And finally, not Matty DYT, he says SVG is going to get win number 4 of the season unless someone like Chris Buescher can take the fight to him again. I just know it's going to be a track position race. Yes, that's kind of been the theme with the NASCAR Cup Series ever since this next arrow was introduced. Track position, track position, track position. Do not lose in touch with, don't fall behind, do not make mistakes on pit road, stay in the mix, stay up front. Definitely, I think it's going to be a track position type of race. We are running the same tires that we have ran for all the road courses this season, so it's not going to be the same one we ran last year, so could maybe switch up just a little bit, but it will be a track position type of race. Chris Buescher putting the fight up to him, it will be very fun to see, but I feel like SVG is a lot stronger now than where he was in 2024 when he was at a different team and colleague. Now he's at Trackhouse, got a lot more reps under his system. It's going to be fight, or it's going to be close. It will be a dog fight. And yeah, that's the theme. That's the theme going into this race. The storyline is, can anybody beat Shane Van Gisbergen? We all thought maybe Connor Zilisch, because those two had an amazing battle until the two made contact in the closing laps of that race. But with Zilisch not competing, who else can take the fight to SVG? I mean, we look at some of the drivers that could perform well. We mentioned Chris Buescher already. Also talk about maybe a Christopher Bell. He has an average finish of 8.3 in next gen here at Watkins Glen. Really, really good here at this racetrack. Carson Hocevar finished 3rd here last year. He could be a surprise driver. Don't think that they can contend with SVG, but potential drivers that could have good runs maybe be in the mix. And some other drivers that could be surprises. Look at a Justin Haley. I mean, Justin Haley in practice was exceptionally well, was fastest in practice, fastest in the 5-lap average, second fastest in the 10 and 15-lap average, but he's starting mid-pack, so that's going to be tough for him to overcome. William Byron was also extremely fast, fastest in the 10 and 15-lap average on Saturday, so he's a driver. And a former race winner here back in 2023, he's definitely someone that could maybe put the fight to Shane Van Gisbergen Gisbergen, also riding off a lot of momentum following his win last Sunday at Iowa. But there is one driver that I be very skeptical on, and that is Kyle Larson. I did some studies on Kyle Larson. It's actually kind of shocking how bad he has been on road courses so far. In the last 7 races, he's only been to victory lane 1 time. That was his only top 5, only top 10, and that was his win at the Charlotte Roval last year. Again, in these last 7 races on the road courses, 24th place average finish, and he's only led 65 laps. It is shocking how bad he is when you take a look at only this year's stats. In the 4 road course races, a goose egg in the wins, top 5s, and top 10s. He's only had 1 top 30 finish, and that was the 13th at Chicago. Average finish of 29th and only led 3 laps. So while yes, you can never count out Kyle Larson, you always have to include him in the mix. I would also argue that we are seeing a slump. Kyle Larson is in a slump, and I feel like that is going to continue here today. As for maybe his teammate, Chase Elliott, we mentioned William Byron. His teammate, Chase Elliott, won his first race here back in 2018. That NASCAR, they've been getting more and more consistent. I feel like they're going to have maybe a very solid run as long as pit road and the crew chief don't mess up. I feel like that NASCAR could maybe get a really solid run. But as for the driver that could beat Shane Van Gisbergen, is one of these drivers are in my fantasy lineup. So I got SVG. Of course, I got to have SVG. I also got the 200 drivers of William Byron and Chase Elliott. I got Michael McDowell as well on there. Chase Briscoe, he is in my garage because he is, I feel like, a very underrated road course racer. He did really well at Sonoma. He has done good on these road course races in this next-gen car, so I feel like he could be a surprise driver I could plug in there in case one of my starters have any issues. And I got Ross Chastain, led a lot of laps here last year. Also another driver, very underrated here at Watkins Glen, has a great record here, so I have him as my final starter. But like I said, the driver that I have winning this race is among these 5 starters, and it is Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell, I feel like, will get redemption, was 3rd fastest, 4th fastest in the 5-lap average, and qualified in 6th. I feel like it will be his time. I mean, the reason why I only list off the 5-lap average, that's all he did. He didn't do a 10 or 15-lap average, which tells me that 71 car's got some speed. It is souped up, at least I think. I mean, if you're electing to not go for a lot longer, that's a good sign. So I feel like he will get revenge for what happened at Chicago. He will have a great car, great shot at winning. I feel like out of all the drivers that could take the fight to SVG, it's him. I think Michael McDowell will become the series' 14th different winner of 2025. But what are your thoughts on this race? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.